Hello friends, welcome to Audiobook Daily. Today we'll talk about The Answers Within, Life by Arpit Sharma. The train moved slowly through the darkness of the early morning. Most passengers were asleep, but Aarav sat by the window, staring at his reflection in the glass. At 28, he felt exhausted, not physically, but mentally. Every day seemed identical. Wake up, check notifications, rush to work, scroll through social media during breaks, return home tired, watch videos, sleep, repeat. Months had become years. Yet despite being busy all the time, he couldn't remember the last time he felt truly alive. The worst part was his inability to focus. He would start reading a book and lose interest after 3 pages. He would set goals and abandon them within a week. He would watch motivational videos, feel inspired for an hour, and then fall back into the same cycle. Deep inside, a question haunted him. Why am I so unhappy when I have everything I thought I wanted? He had a decent salary, a comfortable apartment, supportive parents, good health. Yet an invisible emptiness followed him everywhere. One evening, after another frustrating day, Aarav sat alone on his balcony. The city lights sparkled in the distance. Cars moved endlessly below. Everyone seemed to be going somewhere. Everyone except him. For the first time, he stopped distracting himself. No phone. No music. No television. Just silence. And in that silence, something uncomfortable happened. Thoughts he had been avoiding for years began to surface. He realized he had spent most of his life searching for answers outside himself. He searched for happiness in promotions. He searched for confidence in other people's approval. He searched for purpose in motivational speakers. He searched for peace in entertainment. Yet none of those things lasted. The moment one achievement was reached, another target appeared. The moment one problem disappeared, another emerged. His life felt like a race with no finish line. That night, he wrote a question in a notebook. What am I running from? The answer didn't come immediately, but the question stayed with him. Over the next few days, Aarav continued writing. Every morning before work. Every evening before bed. No filters. No pretending. Just honesty. Slowly, patterns emerged. He realized he wasn't actually afraid of failure. He was afraid of discovering that the life he was living wasn't the life he truly wanted. For years, he had followed expectations. Study hard. Get a job. Earn money. Buy things. Repeat. He had become so busy meeting expectations that he never stopped to ask what mattered to him. The realization was painful, but it was also freeing, because for the first time, he understood something powerful. The confusion wasn't the problem. Avoiding the confusion was the problem. Instead of escaping uncomfortable thoughts, Aarav began facing them. He started taking long walks without headphones. He spent less time consuming content and more time reflecting. He reduced social media. He created space for silence. At first, the silence felt unbearable. Without distractions, he was forced to confront doubts, regrets, and fears. But gradually, something changed. His mind became clearer. The constant noise began to fade. One afternoon during a walk in a nearby park, he noticed an old gardener carefully planting small saplings. The gardener worked slowly and patiently. Curious, Aarav approached him. How long will these trees take to grow? He asked. The old man smiled. Many years. Aarav laughed. That sounds frustrating. The gardener shook his head. No. What's frustrating is expecting a tree to grow overnight. The words stayed with Aarav long after he left. For years, he had expected instant clarity, instant purpose, instant happiness. But life didn't work that way. Just like a tree, purpose needed time. Growth needed patience. Clarity needed attention. Over the following months, Aarav stopped obsessing about finding his purpose. Instead, he focused on understanding himself. He paid attention to activities that energized him. He noticed what made him feel meaningful. He observed what drained him. Slowly, a pattern appeared. He loved helping people solve problems. He enjoyed teaching. He enjoyed writing. Whenever he shared lessons from his own experiences, he felt engaged and alive. The realization didn't arrive like lightning. It arrived quietly. Like sunrise. One small insight at a time. For the first time in years, Aarav felt direction. Not because someone gave him an answer, but because he discovered it himself. His external life didn't change dramatically overnight. He still worked at the same company. He still faced challenges. He still experienced uncertainty. But internally, everything was different. He no longer expected happiness to arrive from the next promotion. He no longer compared his journey to others. He no longer searched endlessly for someone else to tell him what to do. Instead, he trusted himself. He listened to himself. He took responsibility for his choices. And with that responsibility came freedom. One evening, nearly a year after writing that first question in his notebook, Aarav returned to the same balcony where his transformation had begun. The city lights looked exactly the same. The traffic below sounded exactly the same. Yet he felt completely different. A smile appeared on his face. Not because life had become perfect, but because he had stopped running from himself. He finally understood what he had spent years searching for. Purpose isn't something hidden somewhere in the world waiting to be found. It is created through awareness, action, and honesty. Happiness isn't something another person gives you. It grows when your actions align with who you truly are. And the answers we spend years chasing outside ourselves often begin with a simple willingness to look within. As the cool night breeze touched his face, Aarav closed his notebook. For the first time in a very long time, he wasn't searching anymore. He was living. And that made all the difference. Thank you for listening. If you like the audio, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. See you in next audiobook daily.